I know, you're all good. You're all good. Yeah, another fun fact about me is I was born in Pinehurst Memorial Hospital, about a mile from here, and I had not been back to Pinehurst since I was 8 or something until this event. So it's kind of a homecoming of sorts. But it's great to be here, and we're here to talk about the unique challenges that for a category of emailers we call super senders, which are the largest B2C emailers in the world, and frankly how this group unfortunately is woefully underserved by the current ecosystem available to them. So we're going to talk about that this morning and some ways to get around this. Like Ken said, I've been talking at these events a good bit, and you know we all talk about the same issues every time. They don't seem to get better. You know, according to the relevancy group, the top 5 email priorities for marketers: improving segmentation, utilizing real-time data, greater use of analytics to optimize your communications. These are right at the top always of things that we're trying to do as emailers. But when they also ask what are your top 10 challenges, guess what? It's pretty much the same list. It's access to data, it's ability to automate campaigns, it's having access to real-time data. And I don't blame the marketers in the room for not being able to solve these challenges. I blame the ecosystem. You know, the ESPs that primarily serve these large enterprise customers, like you brands in the room here today, you know, they were all built 20 years ago. I mean, literally, you know, they're acquired by the marketing clouds 15 years ago. They're getting old, you know. So what was going on 20 years ago? Just to put this in perspective. Sorry, this photo is a little grainy, but it's hard to get high-def photos from 20 years ago. It's, you know, look how young Ben Affleck is here. I mean, seriously, this is pre-Gigli, right? But he's like young and full of optimism. 20 years ago is so long ago that perjury and obstruction of justice led to impeachment hearings. That's how long ago. That's how long ago it was. It's early in the morning. I was wondering how that would go over. But look, 20 years ago, the way that email works, where you take your customer data and you send it up to your ESP so they can batch and blast emails, was fine, because that's how we sent emails 20 years ago. We sent the same email to everyone in our list, right? We didn't have as much data on our customers to personalize anyway, so it didn't matter, and security around that data wasn't as important. And by the way, smartphones didn't exist, you know, so being able to provide a pure SaaS software ESP for big brands was okay, because you would just send up an email list, create an email in the cloud, and send it out the door, and it worked. Unfortunately, it's the way it still works. But consumers' needs have evolved. The world is a different place. Gmail didn't exist when the marketing cloud email platforms came to be. The iPhone didn't exist. Cloud-based computing didn't exist, and all of these brands didn't exist. The world has fundamentally changed, and it forces companies to create workarounds to get their email out the door, do the best they can. There's a whole ecosystem of multi-channel campaign management platforms, right? Just to cut your lists internally before you send them out to your ESP. There's content optimization and load time optimization ecosystem for vendors just to get the right content out the door, to work around this fundamental problem. The system is broken for you guys, and it's not your fault, effectively. And this disconnect is creating this kind of reaction for you guys in the room when you're trying to get an email out the door, right? But even worse, it creates this kind of reaction for your customers, right? It's when you buy a ticket on Ticketmaster, and then you get an email the next day that says, your ticket is still available, come buy it. Right? It's those kinds. It's when you reserve a hotel room, you get an email the next day saying, do you still want the room? And you're a loyalty member. You know, it's that kind of data disconnect that causes issues. So we need to rethink the entire approach, and that's certainly what we've done at MessageGears. So we have 4 fundamental truths when we built MessageGears that we think every vendor in the ecosystem should try to be doing this for your customers, right? Just saw Hamilton for the first time last week. So we hold these truths to be self-evident, right? Email should be easy to personalize across all your channels at scale. It shouldn't be hard, right? You should have access to all your data in real time to do what you need to do with it without having to go to IT and worry about it. And because access to this data is critical for your success, right? Your access to it, not somebody else's access to it that you have to request, put in a ticket, a week later, hear back whether you need it or not. It should not be a bitch to switch. It's remarkable to me how hard it is to change email platforms, right? I mean, when I talk to customers or prospects who are, they say, God, it's so frustrating. I can't do what I want with email. I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to do that. Do you want to switch? Oh, God, no. No, geez, because everybody has scar tissue from the last time they switched. It is a 6-month process. It costs hundreds of thousands of dollars. You have to get buy-in from different people, in your organization that also has this scar tissue. And so you're like, the devil you know is better than the devil you don't know. And the devil you know is not good enough in our estimation. So you should be able to have a free proof of concept with your ESP that gets up and going in a day, right? That's what you should be able to do. That's what we bring you at MessageGears. And every marketer should get the service they deserve. I think this is just fundamental, but this is something else we hear over and over again about impersonal service and lack of response for getting what you need. So the idea of having your ESP in this broad third-party cloud and all your data there, but your customer data is behind your firewall where it should be. This is an old concept, and we need change. Remember, it used to be great. Remember how young and vital Ben Affleck looked? This is like these ESPs today. They're getting a little chubby, got a cigarette, you're hungover. So we need to change that. Your ESP needs to live with your data. It needs to be connected. And so imagine an ESP that lives on top of your data, that's easy to install, a day to set up, literally. We can come in, set it up, have access to your data, and be sending campaigns to a black hole pre-deliverability that afternoon. It's like that straightforward. On top of a modern user interface with complete campaign orchestration and drag and drop functionality and a modern user interface for content creation as well. We work with the big brands. So Chick-fil-A is an example of this. They're an Atlanta customer. They were able to move to a platform where they have they call it an Uber campaign, right? Where they send the same campaign to all their customers, but all their customers get a different email based on their attributes and offers and store and location. So they're able to send hundreds and hundreds of versions of email through one sending to their 15 million customers on their list. And this led to 20% lift in conversions, getting people to sign up for their app, and 5 times the number of subscriptions once they were able to better personalize. Expedia is another customer, and they told me, their head of marketing there told me that they increased their ROI from email 100% when they were able to personalize having access to all their data directly. Their head of IT told me it's 50% less cost to support MessageGears than their previous marketing cloud vendor. So tech should liberate you, not limit you. Your email provider should liberate you, not limit you. We work with the world's great brands, and we love to work with the world's great brands here. I love this quote from the Relevancy Group in their latest enterprise email guide. Virtually everyone we've ever spoken with has raved about the people and technology at MessageGears. So these are our 4 pillars. It should be easy to personalize across scale. The marketers in the room, not through an IT conduit, should have direct access to all your customer data in real time. Migration should be easy and fast, even for people, and especially for customers that have millions of customers or tens of millions of customers to send to. And look, work with somebody you like working with, and work with somebody who gives you the time and attention you deserve to get your jobs done every day. So thank you very much. I appreciate it.